Okay, just take a minute to look at the headline of this article. You have not seen this, or you don't know anything about this, correct? Like, you have not.
Warner Brothers to release new Lord of the Rings movie, The Hunt for Gollum in 2026. Peter Jackson to produce and Andy Serkis to direct.
That's
Whoa.
right. Yeah. So not
So
only are you bringing back the OG director as a producer, um,
I think this will be interesting. Yeah.
yeah, you're also bringing back the character and actor who portrayed him through the motion capture, Andy Serkis, who's going to both direct and star as Gollum.
Has Andy Serkis directed before?
Um, I don't know. That's a good question. I'll have
Well,
to look that up.
congratulations, Andy.
Yeah. Now,
It's
with this, they're bringing back the original writing team with Peter Jackson. And
Fran and Philippa.
that's right. That's right. So they're all coming back as well as producers slash writers. And so to me, obviously, I'd like to see Peter Jackson directing. But I know he's getting older, and I know that he might not have the same energy like he once did. I still think him producing is a huge win because he's able to tap into his massive store of resource. I mean, he's a billionaire at this point because he sold off his production company. So he has tons of funds, and he also knows people in the industry, including his own production company, that worked on the original Lord of the Rings movies. So he's going to be able to get that same look that we all want from this. And you got the original writing team coming back on, and then obviously...
Are they recasting? I mean, imagine, Aragorn's in this, isn't he?
Well, yeah. So
And
this
Gandalf.
So this is the problem. Is like, they're gonna have to they have to for sure recast Saruman if Saruman makes an appearance, as well as a few other. I mean, unless you can how do we feel about people de-aging?
It'll be harder because I'm just thinking about Indiana Jones. Harrison Ford is so prolific that they really did have all the footage that they could go through and like reanimate his face.
True.
To, like, get every angle. Viggo Mortensen's not as prolific in terms of.
You're right. But could
how
they
many
not?
Movies has been in? But...
yeah, I know. I'd like to say it'd be fine for them to.
Will it work? And will it look really bad?
Yeah.
I don't want it to look really bad. And you don't want to blow the budget, I mean, let's...
No, but and that's why I was kind of pointing out, like, Peter Jackson as a producer is
Timothy Chalamet as
Aragorn. Don't even go there. I don't want to think... I mean, I have nothing against Timothy Chalamet, okay? I just don't think his look works for what I hope.
Or, okay, it'll be Tom Holland. Those are the only two actors.
That's all I get? I only get those two guys to pick from.
Those are the only two actors we have.
And then what? Ryan Gosling is Aragorn? Like, what do we say? Like,
that's an idea.
No. Oh man, I don't even want to. I don't even want to go there. But yeah. So back to your question, Andy Serkis. He has directed 5 movies before.
Okay, so
not all of them. I don't know his first few. So Heavenly Sword is a video game that he directed, and then he directed a movie called Breathe and a movie called The Ruins of Empires, which I don't know. But we do know these ones. He directed Mowgli, Legend of the Jungle in 2018, which is like a live-action Jungle Book.
Right.
And then Venom, the sequel, Let There Be Carnage. Not massively well received, but like visually it still looked like the Spider-Man movie that you're used to. So I think he's at least got a handle on directing motion capture CGI with live action, which is a huge ask when you're taking on a movie about Gollum. Now, the other question I've had, and this is one that I'm going to see if I can find. I know someone else has been talking about this, so I just want to quickly see if I can track it down. Alright, I can't actually find it. But the question essentially is, should we like move on from Gollum as like the main, not the main character, because he's not the main character in the original trilogy, but he is a huge part of it. And he's also a huge part of the first movie of The Hobbit. And so the question is just like, is Gollum really a big enough...
He's like the R2 and C-3PO of
yeah,
Lord of the Rings.
That's an apt comparison. And so like the question is that
they're in all 9 movies. They're not necessarily the main character, but they're the one constant.
But would you go to see a movie about like R2 like running around and like, I don't know?
Yes, I probably would.
Okay. Well, that answers my question. I'm not saying I don't want to see this and I'm not hyped. I am. I really do think this is going to be an amazing chance to recapture our feelings from the original trilogy with this movie. Even if they recast it, even with actors that I don't necessarily love, I think this could be really special. But at the same time, I do wonder if there's other things in Middle Earth that might be more interesting.
Well, I mean, coming off the video game Gollum,
okay,
Simulator, everyone's gonna be super hyped for this.
Also,
I played the game. Now I played the game. I want to see the movie.
Yeah. To that point, that actually makes the failure of that game so much harsher, because it would have been a brilliant, like, for that game, a brilliant tie-in for them to be the game out prior to the movie. And the fact that we now have all seen, I mean, I have it wishlisted. If it ever drops in price, I'll buy it and we'll play it. But yeah, when I see the reviews and how bad this game was, it makes it that much worse for them, knowing that this movie is now coming out and they could have tapped into this massively on with their sales. But now there's no way to outshine that huge negative review score beside their name.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's why I wanted to get your initial reaction to this, because this is huge news that people have been talking about, and the fact that you didn't see it yet was just golden opportunity for us. I'm really excited about this. I think this is, not that I'm not excited about the War of the Rohirrim, and we will talk about that in another video, but I don't know how actively involved Peter Jackson is with that, or what that team is with the original creative department from Peter Jackson's trilogy, and like if there's gonna be visually similarities that we can latch onto, and I do think that is important if you want to have this cohesive like expanded universe of the original trilogy. Similar, like Star Wars seems to have a visual look to it, where you can kind of tell without even knowing you're watching a Star Wars. And I feel like we're not quite getting that yet between the original trilogy, The Hobbit, and The Rings of Power. I don't feel that cohesion just yet, and I'm hoping with the War of the Rohirrim and with this, we can start finding that that look, that almost like a staple. But yeah, that's kind of my own little pet peeve about like these expanded universes, that if they don't feel like they fit, then it doesn't quite elevate it to that like must see level for a lot of people. But yeah, I'm
Yeah.
excited about this, and honestly, non-Lord of the Rings fans are as well. At least the ones I've talked to, they like this is actually kind of cool. They actually like this idea, hunt for Gollum. Like I guess Gollum, I never thought he was that great of a character. I mean, he's a fun meme character. I just didn't think anyone would want to see more of him outside of jokes. Like I misread the cue. I didn't realize
Well,
people
what
love this
is it
character.
from? It's not from. Is it from Gollum's perspective, or is it
Oh,
from?
I see. I don't know. Nobody know. Like it just got just this title
Maybe
is the working title for it right now.
hmm.
And
Because
yeah, like
maybe it
who's
won't be.
even
Maybe
hunting
it
for
may.
it, right?
Because
Like
maybe like it's more just like it's filling the gap between Gandalf leaving and coming back.
yep.
So maybe there'll be a lot more to it than just
Yeah, I mean it
because
could be this the star could be Gandalf, right?
yeah.
Or it could be the orcs trying to find Gollum, capturing him and torturing him to get the whereabouts of the like. I'm not really sure who's gonna be the main character. How much screen time is Gollum gonna be there? I know since they're bringing on Andy Serkis and he's gonna reprise his role as Gollum, he'll be in it obviously, but I just don't know if it's gonna be a majority of the time or if it's gonna kind of maybe just be a few flashbacks while we're like looking for Gollum or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you know
mean they
what?
have a lot of there'll be a lot of material there. Yeah,
There's tons, and the thing is, like you said, it fills in gaps, and so you you have a lot of like there's a if it's gonna be Gandalf during that like 20 to 30 year period, um,
what do you mean? It was like a week, wasn't it?
yeah, that's gonna be we're gonna have to explain to people when we take him. When does that take place? During that one day when Gandalf leaves?
We
Yeah.
saw him like go down to Gondor. He went to the library. He
Yeah, and then
came
he drove
back.
back the next day. um, yeah, like, yeah, so I do think you have a lot of breadth there because also Aragorn is, as you mentioned, Aragorn is brought into the search, I believe as well. Um, and so yeah, between Aragorn, elves, Gandalf, orcs, goblin, like a ton of different people can be searching for Gollum, and I don't know which direction they're gonna take it from. I assume it's gonna be
I mean,
from
maybe you might
Gandalf.
get. Could you see like a young Faramir and a young Boromir too? Like it did.
Did they know about Gollum prior to? Did Faramir know about Gollum prior to encountering him?
Oh, I don't know, but I mean, you think about it. Like, how old would a Faramir been? And
Oh, true. Yeah, they would be super young, almost too young to.
so that's why I'm saying, like, maybe you
Yeah.
actually see Boromir and Faramir as children.
Yeah.
And
Like
in
it's like
some
very young. Yeah.
in some of the early sequences, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't
Yeah.
know.
I mean, it could be a nice Easter egg kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like,
And maybe we'll see Denethor before he's crazy. And
yep.
he's like a nice guy.
Yep. Yeah. No, that would actually be an interesting and nice like nod to that character because it's unfortunate that we come in and we only know him as this Mad King, and so we all have a joking hatred of this character. But
Well, and the movie doesn't particularly harsher than the book, does it?
yes, the movie is quite nasty to this character, and it makes everyone.
He's not quite as horrible.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right, and so like that's why like there's tons of memes about it where he's just this nasty father.
I heard something that people said that Faramir was like in the book was like a self-insert. Like this is Tolkien writing himself into the book. It's
So
like,
I mean,
would be
people,
this guy.
yeah, people have said that. I think Tolkien himself has said he's more like a hobbit.
Okay.
So I don't know if he like Faramir is very similar to Aragorn in his ability to overcome the ring's draw. And so yeah, he almost, it's almost like a superpower, and so people look to like Aragorn and Faramir as almost like superhuman in their ability to push away power that is corrupting them. But I could see a writer putting themselves in that character because of how powerful they seem to be in that moment. Whereas I actually think maybe not Sam, but like just a hobbit in the Shire is more where Tolkien feels he is. But yeah, I mean, it could have changed, because when he first wrote the books, he might have had one thought on his stance in that world, and then as he brings Faramir in, maybe he starts to see himself as this guy. But yeah, so anyway, let us know down below what you guys think about this new movie coming out. Peter Jackson producing, Andy Serkis directing. I'm just super pumped for this, and I hope you guys are too. We have to wait a little bit, 2026, but that's not too long. Like, that's not too bad, actually. I thought this would be way further out, to be honest. But
I mean, maybe that's concerning if they're rushing it.
well, so my hope is the fact that they already have released the name is that they've
already
have
been
done
working on this,
some
maybe.
pre-production, and they might just be able to go right back to some of their old spot. Like maybe they've already like worked this out where they're gonna film. So all
Maybe
that
that's why.
pre-production
Maybe that's why Rings of Power had to leave. They were
Oh,
like,
yeah,
"Get
maybe
out
they
of the
got
way.
the
Okay, we got Peter Jackson coming back and Andy Serkis, and they
Yeah.
have priority here. Okay, so
Yeah.
you guys have to
Rings
go
of
to England."
Rings of Power snubbed Peter Jackson, so he's like, "That's it. I'm making my own movie, and I'm taking back New Zealand." That's good.